Hey friends, it's Corey from Hey Let's Make Stuff. In today's video, we are going to be doing another comparison. This time we are going to be comparing the Cricut Joy to the new Cricut Joy Xtra. If you're looking at buying a new Cricut machine and you want something on the lower end of the budget, you're probably looking at one of these two machines. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the two different machines. We're going to talk about how they are the same and how they are different so that you can make the right choice for your needs and budget. Now, like I said, both of these machines are on the lower end of the Cricut spectrum. So these are their two smallest machines. They are the least expensive and they have the fewest number of features. But that doesn't mean they can't do a lot of things. I've had my original Cricut Joy here since 2020, and I actually really like this little machine. If I don't want to break out one of my big Cricut machines, my Maker or my Explorer, I can make a lot with just this little machine. When Cricut announced that they were doing a slightly bigger version of the Cricut Joy, at first I wasn't so sure if it was needed sort of in the Cricut lineup, but I have to say I really do like this new machine. Before we talk about how these machines are different, let's talk a little bit about how they are the same. Of course, they are both from the Cricut Joy line, and they both use the same type of tools. So these are, again, very basic machines, so they don't have a lot of the fancy tools like the rotary blade or the knife blade or even a scoring stylus. Both of these machines take three different tools. They take the fine point blade, which comes with the machine. They can also be used with pens and markers. They have to be specifically the Cricut Joy pens and markers though. You can't use the pens and markers for the Maker or Explorer machines. You definitely need to get the ones that say Cricut Joy. And then both of them can use the foil transfer tool. The foil transfer tool allows you to add foil to all sorts of paper projects, cards, banners, and that sort of thing. And both of those machines can use that tool. Both of these machines are powered on just by plugging them in. They don't have any buttons or anything on the machine that you need to work. You basically plug it in, and then everything else you need to do is actually done in the Cricut Design Space software. This makes it especially accessible for new Cricut users. So if you're just starting out and one of the bigger machines is a little intimidating, one of these machines might be a better choice for you. And then both of these machines also take the same types of materials. So over here I have some smart vinyl and some smart iron-on, and over here I have a smaller version of smart vinyl and smart iron-on, and they're each size specifically for the machine that they go with. Because these are smart materials, both of these machines can cut without a mat, but they can also cut with a mat as well. So really either of these machines is really good if you are a beginner and you're a little bit intimidated by the whole Cricut everything. They're also really good if you don't have a lot of space, and they are good if you have a smaller budget. Now let's talk a little bit about the differences. So obviously the first difference here is the size. So over here I have my Cricut Joy, and it can cut up to 4.5 inches wide on the mat, plus a very long length if you were using a smart material. Over here, I have my Cricut Joy Xtra, and it can cut 8.5 inches wide on the mat, which makes it actually much more usable than the Cricut Joy. And that's because you can use regular letter-sized paper. And there is a lot that comes in that letter size. You can buy all sorts of types of cardstocks and papers that you would have to trim down to be able to fit in the original Cricut Joy that you can just stick on a mat and cut with Cricut Joy Xtra. I have two mats here as a comparison. They are both 12 inches tall, but you can see this is just so much more narrow than this one here. You can cut so much more on this mat than you can on this mat. They also both have the Cricut card mat. Now I'll go ahead and link down to a post I have on my blog about how to use the Cricut card mat. It's basically the same for both machines. Both of these can only cut one card. Now I really wish that they had maybe turned this sideways and been able to fit two cards on it. It seems kind of silly to have this much extra mat on the side that's not being used, but I don't make the decisions over there at Cricut, but I do feel like they could have reworked this to turn them sideways to be able to cut two cards at once. That would have been something I would have liked to see, but they both do have a card mat, which is one of the things that a lot of people like to make with this line of machines. So whichever machine you choose, you are going to be able to make cards with it really easily. Next up, we have a color difference. So the original Cricut Joy comes in this really wonderful teal color. I love it personally. I think it's super cute. It goes with everything in my craft room. And then Cricut Joy Xtra comes in this sort of sleek white, which I also really like because everything that's not teal in my craft room is white. So I really like both of these colors. I really wish that Cricut would actually come out with a wider variety of colors for these machines like they had for the Cricut Explorer 2. I feel like that was really fun because you could choose a machine that really matched your space. But overall, I really like these colors. You may not, but I really do. And then the biggest, most important difference between these two machines, in my opinion, is that Cricut Joy Xtra has Print Then Cut. Print Then Cut is a feature within Cricut Design Space that allows you to print something on your home computer, and then your Cricut will cut around the edge of whatever you have printed. It is one of my favorite things to use with my Cricut, so the fact that they included that on this machine is really a step up from this machine in my opinion. Because Cricut included those Print Then Cut sensors in the Cricut Joy Xtra, it just means we can make so many more projects than we can make with Cricut Joy. They also released a huge new line of printable materials. I'm pretty sure they replaced basically every printable material they had with something new. So I have some waterproof sticker sets here. I'm going to go into using these in another video, but they also have new printable vinyl, new printable sticker paper. They've got new printable iron-on. They've got a whole bunch of printable materials that they specifically launched with the release of Cricut Joy Xtra that have been new and improved over their old printable products. I'm not going to go into how to do Print Then Cut in this video just because it is basically a whole other topic that I could do a whole video on. But if you are looking to do Print Then Cut to make stickers and other projects like that, then definitely the Cricut Joy Xtra has those features that you're going to need. Another very small difference is that Cricut Joy Xtra comes with the world's tiniest weeding tool. Teeny tiny weeding tool. And it basically has a weeding point on it and you can use it to weed. That being said, I think this is too small for most people to use on a regular basis, and no matter which machine you get, I highly recommend getting that basic Cricut tool set. It has a weeding hook, it's got a scraper and a few other things. I think that that's a much better option than trying to use this itty bitty weeding tool. It's just much better, easier on your hands, and you'll have all the other tools you'll need to really work well with your Cricut. The final difference is, of course, the price. This one has more features, it's larger, so it's going to cost a little bit more money. Cricut Joy retails for $149, and sometimes you can find it on sale for like $129 during special sales. Cricut Joy Xtra retails for $199, and I have a feeling we will also be seeing the same sort of sales that we see on Cricut Joy on Cricut Joy Xtra. That means that this machine is $50 more than this machine. So that brings me to the question, is Cricut Joy Xtra worth it? And I can say with 100% certainty, yes. I really feel like this is a superior machine to Cricut Joy. It's only $50 more, you get a larger cutting size, and you get Print Then Cut. If you need to save up for an extra month before you can get this one, I highly, highly recommend that you get this one over this one. And that's saying something, as I really do like this little machine. But because this little machine can't do Print Then Cut, and because it has such a limited size, I really do think that Cricut Joy Xtra is so much more worth the money. And like I said earlier, both of these machines are really great if you're a beginner or you're intimidated by the larger Cricut sort of ecosystem. They're really great if you have that smaller budget, and they are really great if you don't have a lot of space. Another question would be, if you have Cricut Joy, do you want to upgrade to Cricut Joy Xtra? And that really, of course, is up to you. Do you want those Print Then Cut capabilities? Do you want to be able to cut those larger materials? If so, I do think it's a really good upgrade. So overall, I really do recommend getting that Cricut Joy Xtra if you're looking at one of these two machines. Cricut Joy filled a really good need when it first came out, and it's been a really great machine. I use it all the time, but I can see myself putting this one on the shelf and using this one way more than I would ever use this one, just because of that bigger cutting size and because it has Print Then Cut. I hope you found this quick comparison video between Cricut Joy and Cricut Joy Xtra helpful. If you have any questions about these two machines, I would be happy to answer those in the comments. If you found this video helpful or inspiring, of course, I would always appreciate your like. Follow my channel for more Cricut, sublimation, and laser content. I'll see you next week.